want to welcome y'all back. Welcome some of y'all for the first time. And we are talking out your neck. What up? We back.
And out your neck.
We talking out your neck on this Sunday. Yeah. Just feeling the vibe, feeling the flow, feeling the vibe, feeling the flow. We talking at your neck, fast and slow. Bring it to you guys, to your home.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Talking out your neck. Coming out to another volume. William Hodor.
And you got me, Mr. Nino Barksdale, back in the building, always doing my thing.
Superman coming in with the chat. And we coming in to give y'all what we think about The Boys, Season 2.
Yeah, Season 2, man. There's a lot of stuff that's going, but like, I think that's one of the biggest things right now at this moment. Like, it's a couple of days after the Season 2 ending. But we're going to get into that. But first of all, I want to go ahead and welcome back the man, Willie D, the real Hodor.
The real Hodor. My name is Willie. Beaming. I keep the ladies screaming. Think you beat me? You're dreaming. Inflate your chest. Get metrics.
Hey,
I haven't heard that in a long time. But
that's
every
my
time I
shit
hear
though,
Willie
man.
D,
Like, that's like one of my favorite, like, Any Given Sunday. That's like one of my favorite movies back in the day. I used to always watch that movie. Like before games, because like it came out, like I was in high school when that movie came out, so I used to always be like my go-to movie before the games, and that shit was realistic at that time.
It really was. It really was, because Jamie Foxx did a great job, and if you don't know, but I'm guessing all of our audience does know what kind of a cultural icon movie that was for us at that time. Any Given Sunday, Jamie Foxx playing the quarterback, being a black quarterback before we actually got a chance to be quarterback out there.
I think Michael Vick was around. Wasn't he around that time?
Michael Vick was not around at that time. Willie Beeman? Oh. Around the time of Willie Beeman? No, it was the time when they were when all the teams were converting people that used to be black quarterbacks into receivers or DBs. I think the only people we had that time were the Oilers and the Titans when they get Steve McNair.
Yes,
he might have been.
That was 2000 though. That was 2000.
Yeah, so Steve McNair, Randall Cunningham, and after that, there was kind of really nothing else.
Okay, but like, was it Any Given Sunday? Yeah, it came out back then. But yeah, like, you guys ain't seen that movie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Oliver Stone, Jamie Foxx, Al Pacino.
Al Pacino is the coach.
You got LL Cool J in there.
Ladies love Cool J.
Like, that's how old the movie is, man. There's like a certain amount of celebrities that you could tell is old if they star in that, like. Starring Mekhi Phifer. That shit took place in like the 90s or 2000s. Or starring,
Omar Taylor's in that movie.
Yeah,
Omar Epps. Lawrence Taylor's in that movie. Now, Omar Epps is like, what, Grey's Anatomy or one of those TV shows?
Omar Epps, I know he was on a movie on Netflix. Man, yeah. That shit was horrible.
They're getting the name back out there, though. They're becoming more and more, relevant with their work. And they're doing some things, like. I mean,
again, they stay relevant with the memes.
They really do.
Because like, that's the only thing that really gets them popping. Like, like Mekhi Phifer, you see that meme with him and from Paid in Full when he's crying.
Yeah,
that shit is all over the place. Like, you'll always see it on Instagram. So it's like his movies were good back then, but at the end of the day, it's like 2010. They kind of forgot about him. Michael B. Jordan came. It's Denzel's son. Who else is it?
Michael B. Jordan.
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman came into the hot horse. Like, when he came, he really took the reins. And sad for his passing, like I always say that, 21 Bridges might have been the most underrated film that I believe that got, recognition to me, because that movie could stand on its own too.
Yeah, it was forgotten. I saw it. I saw it when I was when I was gone, like on deployment that little bit of time. I saw the movie. I watched it, and I remember it was good, but it reminded me so much of like the classic '90s Denzel movies that he would be like the bone collector.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one where he's like, like that spirit is always touching him, and he's like going.
I know what you're talking about. That was the Bone Collector and things of that nature.
So the Bone Collector, it was another one. It was like the Bone Collector and something else. But anyways, yeah, like the 21 Bridges reminded me of like classic Denzel, or even to bring it back even older, classic Wesley Snipes movies, like Passenger 57 type, where it's like one black cop and then he's like the man.
And he's got to save everybody.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of how, 21 Bridges goes. But, it's one black cop. His father was a cop, and then he goes about life seeing ways as his father would have, and just trying to make his father a happy person. Everybody's telling him, "Oh, your father would have did this, your father would have did that," but always staying true to yourself, keeping yourself in the right mind. Like, you really didn't know my father then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because my father talks to me, so I know my father.
Yeah, he was a little too perfect in that movie though, like that. But I still like his character, but like like he was like the guy who finds cop killers. That was the selling point of the movie. Is like, oh, I heard you're the cop that catches cop killers. Like that way, once you help me find these cop killers that killed my partners.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, that's like a horrible New York accent. I'm trying to do like that whole.
Well, so you New York.
CS, yeah, I'm talking about that New York cop. Like the Ice-T from was it Law and Order type.
SVU.
Like, yeah, they got to use that lingo. But no, man, I like the movie.
Yeah, but to get back on track of what we were talking about, the basis of this podcast today is to start off on The Boys season 2. So as you alluded to earlier, The Boys season 2 just ended last week Friday, and Amazon did something very different this time by not releasing what I would call the full season at one time. They gave us 3 episodes.
Horrible decision. I'm just saying, but go ahead.
They gave us 3 episodes the first Friday, and then 2 episodes the next Friday, and then every Friday after that you get 1 episode. And I believe this season only had 8 episodes. They were all great, by the way, in my saying so. And I believe that, the way that Amazon did it was very smart. Not only did they keep us intrigued every week, but they also gave us something to think about after every week. So I think that, it really did pay off doing it this way. And if you haven't watched, I'm going to go ahead and give you a brief synopsis of what The Boys is. The Boys is basically a group of guys who exploit the man who are superheroes or celebrities. And their goal is to, help me out right quick. Their goal is to
try to either sabotage or try to find ways to blackmail or find, like, they're kind of like a secret force. That's The Boys himself, but Billy, the main character, which is Billy Butcher. He was originally like some kind of like special forces, not special force like SEALs, but he was part of an agency
like
that CIA. Was task force that was sent to oversee the superheroes because they felt like they couldn't be trusted. So it was like they were supposed to be finding out like what kind of bad stuff they're doing. If they are doing bad stuff, figure out a way how to bring down Vought, which is the actual company who pretty much finances the whole overall 7, the superheroes.
So in a nutshell, Vought is this agency as the NFL. So let me break it down like this. Vought is the NFL. Vought has people working for them, such as NFL players. They give them contracts, they go out and they do their job, but they get a piece of the pie from the contract. Vought, being the NFL, takes in all the money, from like the ticket sales, the admission sales. Vought and this TV show does movie sales, they do TV shows, they sell merchandise that they all take a piece of. But the people that they give contracts to are these superheroes are kind of the NFL athletes, or they're like the superstars, they're the celebrities, and they have a huge fault. All of them have huge faults. And Vought hides all of these faults, whether it's from the most unthinkable things, murder, rape, crime, incest. It goes on and on. The list goes on and on.
they got publicity. They got what's it called in Hollywood? They got like that publicity manager, whoever makes sure that everybody looks good. Like
Yes.
who's in charge of
Some
making sure
people
they don't
try
fuck
to
up.
pay off
Yeah.
with lowballing with money. That's been going on for a while. You see that. And then some people they try to accentuate on what they do well, and they bring it to that light, and everything they do very horrible, or the horrible actions they do, they keep that under wraps and pay people off. And the boys' job is to basically exploit all the wrongs that they do.
Expose it. Even sometimes kill them.
Exactly. Kill them, bring it out, like, yo, this is a horrible person. No. Why is that? Because all the mainstream media portrays is them doing good and then bringing out movies and stuff. And so I want to start off with, we have like our new personnel.
Well, first, do you want to we'll do like a little recap of we're not gonna go over everything that happened in season 1. It's a pretty long season, but we want at least to get you guys up to speed a little bit. But one of the things that happened was we find out that there's a 7. The 7, that's the superheroes that
work for
Hodor was talking about. Yeah,
but they work out of New York.
Yeah, so the place,
New York.
I feel like it's New York.
I feel like it is New York.
I definitely feel like it's New York.
And 7 is like
they're like the Avengers. Yeah, they're like the Avengers, the Justice League. They got the superhero Superman type. They got their Batman type. They got their Flash type. They got their Wonder Woman type. They got all these. They got their Aquaman type. So if you look at it, if people look at it from outside, it's like, oh, it's like some kind of knockoff Justice League. But it does come off like that. But at the same time, it's so much more to it. So the first season, you get introduced to these characters. One of the characters was Huey. He's the main protagonist. I want to say for the season like that, but his girlfriend is killed by one of the superheroes, and you think that it's one of the Flash characters. His name is A-Train. He pretty much runs full speed at Flash type speed, like speed of light, and he just pretty much runs and just disintegrates his girlfriend. The only thing that's left is her arms because they're getting ready to kiss.
I remember that.
Hold her arms, and her arms are gone. So that pretty much is the catalyst to everything that happens in the rest of the season. So season 1, Huey, he joins the boys. He meets Billy Butcher, who is he's honestly, the boys didn't even exist yet because he's the whole first season he's getting them together.
Actually,
they work together in the past.
They worked together in the past, and we find out later on in season 2 that they had already had this money allotted to them to work together. Huey was just the latest person to the group. Yeah. So the boys existed, but the boys were not. They never had Huey until this point, and Huey just blew the lid off of it. Yeah. When he joins, blows the top off of it, and people don't like Huey. But the truth of the matter is that Huey is very integral because as much as what's the right word of a wimp he seems, he's the reason why Translucent is dead. He's the reason why, Starlight comes to life. Yeah. And we can deep dive into her. And he's the reason why A-Train goes down. He's the reason he has a lot behind him that people don't really see. So it's like he's kind of like a wimp, but don't be fooled.
He still has his purpose.
Yeah, he has his purpose. He brings a lot to the light, and a lot of people don't see it. But without Huey, the show kind of doesn't exist. He is what you call the extension cord. You know what I mean? You got the TV, but it can't reach the wall. You put that extension cord in, and that's Huey. He makes it work.
I couldn't put it better than that. But so that's the good guys, and then also there's another. So all these guys, they don't have any superpowers, but they're extremely savvy when it comes to espionage, going undercover, surveillance, and Billy Butcher, he's very, very smart. You're gonna find out when we talk about more about season 2. It's just a recap to catch you guys up to speed. So that's the good guys, and then the bad guys, which you already talked about, the Justice League guys. They're not necessarily all of them are bad, but they're called the 7.
They call the 7, and
because there's 7 of them.
There's 7 of them. It was 7, and it starts off.
Yeah, they kill one.
It was 7. You kill Translucent, you got 6, and then they come about. They got to bring up somebody to replace them. Yeah, and leading into this one.
You're going to season 2.
You're going to season 2.
So that's pretty much what it is. The 7 is the bad guys. The boys are the good guys who's trying to take over them. And like I said, we're gonna hop into season 2. That's all you need to know about season 1, just to get you guys to know a little synopsis of the show.
Okay, and And once Translucent died, they need to find his replacement. His replacement is the brand new character in season 2, Stormfront.
Yeah.
And Stormfront comes in, and she's the replacement for Translucent. And Homelander is not happy about it, looking at her like, who is this girl? Always on her phone, always on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, being very millennial, raising hell, talking shit to everybody, and talking shit on Vault in the 7.
Yeah, so she's pretty much like your Instagram, what's it called, Instagram personality or Instagram influencer. She's an influencer.
She's an influencer.
She definitely is. She fits that category. But then, so like okay, so this is a segment we're gonna talk about all the new characters that were introduced to season 2, starting off with Stormfront.
Mm-hmm.
Stormfront, she kept me interested the whole time. And it's like, and like this let you guys know, warning, this is gonna be a spoiler, like alert for everybody. If you haven't seen The Boys, like that, if you haven't seen The Boys, watch it. But if not, if you guys don't care, just keep listening. But this is your warning. This is a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
All right.
So here we go. Like when she comes in hot and heavy. She's not holding any bars back. She came in to raise some hell to get some attention.
Mm-hmm.
And by God, did she get it? She gets it from Homelander. And she sees that how angry her people are, how influenced they are, how they can come out with memes, how they can direct things. And her main group of people work in vans, and they will do work for Papa John's Pizzas and Snickers while getting high in a van. Those are the people that are making the memes and keep retweeting, getting all the likes up and sending it out to the world. And then, as we do know, when it keeps circulating around, as social media does, people get a wind of it. Homelander gets a wind of it. He doesn't like it. He's like, wait, what are you doing? A relationship ensues basically because he's jealous of the attention she's getting because he's not getting it.
See, the thing I got from that was that Homelander, he's kind of like the old school movie star, like a Bruce Willis type, or like that, like from like the 90s, 2000s, who doesn't really know about social media
Rocky Balboa.
And like how to keep your image. Like he cares very much about his image, how the world perceives him, Homelander. That's what he cares about. So then he sees this new girl who's kind of stepping in on his territory, becoming more popular than him. So he initially hates her. He would kill her in a heartbeat. Like Homelander, he is probably the worst superhero.
And he just killed his the woman that he had a crush on.
Yeah, in the first season.
The first season. He just killed her, and he was looking for something, and she comes along, and he can't stand her, but yet and still, she brings something to the table.
She does.
Which is, I wouldn't say swag, but it's a style that he hasn't seen.
Yeah, because like, you think about it, because like Stormfront, Starlight, she was like the youngster in the first season who got brought in, but she was like kind of like that farm girl, grew up in like the Midwest, not really into social media. So she was like the young girl, but she was like the naive version of that. So she was a new character that came in last season. She was very naive. She immediately figured out what the 7 are all about. Like, she finds out like how horrible they are. She's stuck to be with them because she has a contract and she's pretty much part of the 7. So Stormfront, she comes in and she brings that new, like kind of youngster social media, younger like audience, get more popularity. So that's why she needs to be there.
And she's also a part of that woman empowerment. We're kind of at that part today in today's world where we will see movies with an all-female cast.
Yeah.
But that's not new, but seeing as many of them as we see today is new. Like you'll go through I think in 2020, it won't be unheard of to see like 7 blockbuster movies led by an all-female cast. And the 7 never had so many females in there as well.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, they had Stormfront, Starlight, and they got Maeve.
Yeah,
Queen Maeve. So that's 3 out of the 7 being all female. Would have been unheard of in the 7 to have that many females.
Yeah.
So they took that approach also in season 2. But to go deeper into Stormfront, man, she's forever old. She goes all the way back into like World War II.
Yeah, like
in the Nazi age.
Like we said all the positive things about her. Like, and there's a whole laundry list of all the negative shit. So that's going into what you're saying, like how old she is.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
We find out that she's Hitler's wife.
Yeah,
Now,
was she Hitler's wife?
she's Hitler's
She
wife.
she was high up there. I don't know if she was Hitler's wife.
I would say that it made it seem like she was Hitler's wife.
Okay.
She was Hitler's wife. She also had an episode in this season where she kills a black boy.
Yeah, and that was under her old alias, so that's how you know how old she is. She had an alias called Liberty Bell.
Yep, Lady
So
Liberty.
Lady, it's Liberty. I think it's Liberty. Yeah, Liberty Bell, Lady Liberty, something like that. So she had this alias back when she was like in the civil rights movement, and she kills the boys. They go to investigate, try to find something out about her, so they get some kind of witness that remembers seeing her face before, and then they see but it's like, how did this happen? Like, did this happen about like 50, 60 years ago? Like, how's this true? So they find out that she killed a black kid, and the little girl that was with she was in the back seat, and she happened to see her face. And then now with all this publicity of Stormfront, newspaper readings, Instagram, all this stuff, she sees her face, and she tells them like, "That's Liberty Bell. Yeah. That's not like that's Stormfront, but they're the same person."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so it starts bringing you some questions like, who the fuck is Stormfront?
And how old is she?
That so we already know that she's racist, and it was before that. It was a time where there's like another character that's on the boys called Kimiko. She's another Soup, the Asian character.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I was jonesing for her a little bit, man. Like something about that girl, man. She's really I don't know.
I just thought she was always weird. I was like, something's wrong with this chick.
I don't know. Maybe I have a thing for weird people, man. Maybe I have a thing for weird girls. I don't know.
Because she most definitely was a weird one.
Yeah.
I mean, Kimiko.
That was the same character. Remember, she was in Suicide Squad. She was the character in Suicide Squad, Katana, like that, which was a horrible movie. Which I don't know. I'm relating it.
I don't remember.
That's the same character, but she was in Suicide Squad.
I don't remember, but I'll go ahead and take your word for it.
Okay, but so she showed examples of her being racist.
Yeah.
So remember that whole fight scene where she was fighting Kimiko and her brother.
Yes.
And she went through pretty much the projects.
Uh-huh.
And then there was nothing but black people there, and she was killing it.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, because she's a superhero, I thought she might be on some Homelander shit, not really caring. But she was literally killing everybody, black people that was in her way, killing them. Mm-hmm. And I didn't pay much attention to it until later on, because I'm thinking okay, whatever, it's the boy. She might just be a bitch, whatever, like that. And then she kills Kamiko's brother, and she says some Asians, some racist slang for him, and I was like, okay, so she's about this. Yeah, that's when I realized.
And I was like, wow, she's Homelander Part 2, more evil.
Yeah, she's way more evil.
I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Genocide. She wants the genocide of anybody that's not white or her super.
Yes, yeah. And not only do I agree with that, they took that to the next level with her by her having a big plan to get to Homelander for him to be the face of it. Now, Homelander's no saint, no angel, and we all know that when he let all those people die on the airplane, and he took down the other airplane that had a mayor on there from Atlanta.
So he was evil with that one. But we know from Baltimore. But the one where he let the whole passengers what could he do?
He could have did anything. Okay, look, you're the fastest, strongest human being.
Do you think that he could have saved that, pushed the airplane up and saved it?
Yes. He could just took the airplane down.
He might have.
He could have. He can hold the airplane. He just didn't want to.
I felt like the show was trying to do more of a realistic approach to how superheroes are perceived. Because Superman, he saves planes, everything. He saves a train. Say a train track is missing a track and they're about to go off the rails. He'll come and save the train. Yeah. But this guy's we think about can he? Because he brought it up. He said, "How can I lift up this plane? There's nothing I can put my feet on to elevate me to make me push it up."
So that's where it comes to you ever went to work and somebody always has an excuse about why they can't finish a job. That's what he was giving because he was bored. And they said that later on was yo, every time you keep going back to see your son, she called the wife, Becca called and was like, hey, are you guys gonna do this? Are you gonna say everything? He was like, don't worry, he'll get bored of it. Because that's what he does. He'll start to save people, and then, I've done this before. I'm bored with this scenario. And so that scenario, he was bored with it. Yeah. And because he was bored with it, he didn't want to deal with it. So he's like, come on, Maeve, let's leave. These people are going to die. come on, we'll be right back. We'll help you, but no, really, you're going to die.
Yeah, so he showed his evenness when he realized like, hey, this motherfucker ain't gonna save us.
Yeah,
he gonna let us die. And then he's like, I'll laser the fuck out of you guys. Yeah, that dude was crazy. Yeah, like I think that's when he showed in that moment where he showed like, hey, this guy's evil. Like,
no, yeah.
And then he didn't want to say the kids. He was like, nah, why so they could tell everybody I didn't save everybody else.
Which is true because it would hurt his ego.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's true. Like, so you agree with me partially that he had to let them go. It's like, I can't save three people.
He could have saved everybody. He just didn't want to. That's the thing.
I think I'm playing devil's advocate right now.
You might be playing devil's you just might be playing devil's advocate because Maeve knows in her heart that he could have saved everybody. He's done it before.
Because she can't fly. Like, he's the only one that can fly, right? Starlight, no. Stormfront can fly.
Stormfront can fly.
I don't know about Starlight. Can Starlight fly?
No, she can't fly. She just lights up with that electricity.
Yeah, so those are only two that can fly.
All right, yeah. But moving on, we're going to move. Oh, so we already talked about it. Homelander. So we already moved on. That was our next person. We just talked about Stormfront. We talked about
Homelander. But Homelander for season 2. Okay.
Homelander for season 2. And Homelander and Stormfront actually get into a relationship off of that jealousy that he has for her. And she's like, you know what? I can help your ego out. And that's her way into Homelander's heart, is through his ego. So through helping him out through his ego, he's getting those memes up. And he, like you say, he was Bruce Willis, but now he sees the memes working in his favor.
Yeah.
And now that she's telling him that you don't need 75 million people to love you, what you need is 5 million people pissed off, having your back to fight and die for whatever. And that retrospect alone, I believe that sounds like somebody trying to start a cult or start a revolution. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. She definitely was trying to start some shit with him. She knew that he was the strongest one, that's who she could go to. And like I think that was the first person she wanted to reveal, because like us as audience, we knew this from the second episode, I think second or third episode,
that she had that plan.
Yeah, that she was racist and that she was old. So she revealed it to Homelander, and like at first we're thinking like, is he gonna be with this shit? Because like we all know he's a piece of shit. Homelander's a piece of shit. But then, like, we were thinking, like, is he that much of a piece of shit? And he definitely was game for that.
Because we knew he was a piece of shit by the first 2 episodes when I see the lady that he killed, and he goes back to that cabin, and he has a suit dressing up like her. He had not dressing up like her, but basically morphing into her because he missed her so much.
Yeah.
Not only did he kill her, but he had another suit come back who was a male, morphing to her, just so he could be around her and, do the things that she used to do for him. So if you think of it like that, that's where Homelander started off, because he never had a mother. He never really had a true father.
Yeah, he killed his mother figure.
Yeah, he killed his mother figure.
He hugged her too much and then crushed her.
Because she finally showed that she was afraid of him. And that's kind of what he really wanted to know. It was like, yo, you're really afraid of me, aren't you? Because all the other times you've shown that, you have power over me. Yeah. This is the first time you've shown vulnerability. And sometimes when people show their vulnerability to you, do you crush them or do you help them?
Yeah.
So that's like for somebody actually asking for help. Hey, I'm scared. Oh, you're scared of me? Oh, now I have all the power. That's a powerful feeling over somebody, being scared.
Yeah.
If somebody tell you, oh, I'm scared of you, be like, oh, you should be, you little bitch. Or
it's like, what do you rather be, feared or loved?
Exactly.
Feared.
Some people
Homelander rather be feared,
but he wants both.
Yeah,
he wants love and a little bit of fear.
Yeah, because he does. Because you're true. Because at the very, we'll get to the end later on, but there's a moment in the season 2 where you realize that that's his other, not MacGuffin, but that's his other, what's the word for? That's his other part that he loves, attribute to him, that he wants to be loved by the public. Mm-hmm. Even though he does this horrible shit, he still wants to be admired in the eyes of the public.
He wants to be praised.
Yeah, he wants to be the best. He wants to be a god.
Yes.
That's what it is. He wants to be a god.
He wants to be worshipped. He wants his people to worship him.
Okay, so go ahead. You got something else about Homelander?
Yeah, I was just going to say, and Homelander teaches you that through his things, that he has an ego, that he's strong, that it needs to be nurtured. But we never see him have a connection with anybody like he had with Stormfront until the last season. When last season came out, the very last episode where he actually takes Butcher to see his wife. And that's going to lead into the next person. It's going to all tie together. We're going to talk about Becca for a little bit. Butcher's wife, who we didn't see any of in the first or the second episode, but they bring her along slowly. So as you guys know, Becca is raising Homelander's son. And from Homelander's son, because they saw what they did wrong with Homelander. He never had a mother. So they're going to give his son a mother. They're going to raise him in a remote place and just keep giving him some values so that he's not trying to act like a superhero and do evil things. Yeah. But when his time comes along, he will actually do the right thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not kill people. Mm-hmm. Try to save people. Homelander didn't have that growing up, but this boy does.
Yeah, the way it ties in is because like Homelander's son, the mom is Billy Butcher's wife.
Billy Butcher's wife.
Yeah, so like that's where it all ties in. The boys. So Billy Butcher's on a vendetta to kill, because in the first season he doesn't know that she's alive.
Not to the end.
Yeah, he doesn't find out to the very end that she's alive. Mm-hmm. And when he finds out she's alive, that changes the whole game plan. Because originally he just wanted to kill all of them. He wanted to kill all the Supes, especially Homelander. But now finding out that she's alive, it makes him want to figure out a way how to save her
and just run away.
Yeah.
I just want my wife back. Look, the whole reason why I'm on this vendetta is for my wife. Yeah. Now I found out my wife is alive. How do I get her back? But Becca hits him in the head with something that was like game changing to me. She was like, after he raped me, I did not come to you. Mm-hmm. I went to Vaughn. And he saw the video of her sitting on a park bench after the rape happened. She really did not go back and see him. She went and saw him for a little bit, and then she left and was never seen again. So she made that decision that, okay, yeah, I'm going to have this baby. I'm going to get a chance to raise a child.
Yeah,
And that her decision to have a child was stronger than her wanting to be a wife to him. And that's kind of where Becca's mindset is I would rather be the mother to this child than to be your wife.
And that's a tough pill to swallow.
And that was very tough for Butcher to swallow because he doesn't want to let go of her at any cost. But he doesn't care what she wants. He wants his wife back. Like any other man who marries his wife, you want your wife. And she made the decision that she wanted the kid and not him. I don't think he ever accepted that.
Yeah, that's like some reverse Castaway shit. Can you imagine like Tom Hanks remember Castaway, like how he came back, his wife was remarried and shit. Uh-huh. Like can you imagine that? Like it was the verse, and then it's like, oh shit, that's pretty much what it is. Because like he finds out that she's alive, and she moved. Not that she moved on. It is that she in a way kind of did move on. Like,
she moved on.
She was established like, okay, I'm never gonna see my husband again. I got this my child. I'm gonna raise him, and that's it. That's all that matters. I'm gonna raise him good. And then Homelander, being the asshole that he is, he pops in like like on daddy weekends. Hey, what's up? Like he doesn't call. He don't text. He just pops up. It's like what the fuck can you do when your baby daddy's a superhero?
Not only that, your baby daddy is Superman, and he gonna bust the fucking door down.
Yeah, like he can kill you.
Literally, you know that. It was like, wait, do you really want to kill me in front of your son? And that's when Homelander starts to actually, show some thought process in a different way because he couldn't connect with anybody. He even tried to have a relationship with Mrs. May, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, that didn't work. It was shown in season 1 that was his go-to girl, but she pretty much turned over. So, like she wasn't with him.
Well, actually, no, he broke it off with her.
He did.
He broke it off with her
because in season 2 there's a big reveal. I don't know if it was revealed in season 1 that she was a lesbian.
It was not.
So season 2,
but you get the hints.
Yeah. So
Miss Maeve actually they just happened to throw her out there. Yeah. But I'm sorry, Homelander throws her out there. Yeah. Because she wanted to keep that under wraps. Yeah. Homelander did that as well. But if I could go a little bit deeper into it, where Homelander went wrong is he started making enemies out of all his suits, the 7. The thing that he cared about the most was his ego in the 7, and he started making enemies among the 7.
Yeah, because when you really think about the 7, like there's no unity in them. Like all 7 of them. Okay, so we'll break them down. Okay, so we got Homelander. He doesn't fuck with anybody except for Stormfront, and that's towards the end. Queen Maeve, she doesn't fuck with nobody like that, but she has decency in her. Stormfront, not Stormfront. She only fucks with the Homelander towards the end, and was it A-Train? He's almost like he's like the Flash character, but like his character like he doesn't do anything this whole season. Like he's pretty much getting kicked out.
He's getting kicked out
because he's not the fastest man, and the reason why he was the fastest man in like all the original season, first season, and all that, because he was taking drugs, which is Compound V, which you find out that that's pretty much what all the superheroes got the super abilities from because they were injected with Compound V when they were kids, and so like he's taking more of it, and he kind of like steroids for them, but he also had a heart attack, so he's slow.
And just to interject, there was also, if you watch the show and you go back and watch it again, there's an extra reasoning why he got kicked out. That was part of it, but the second part of it was also to bring in Stormfront, because Stormfront doesn't work well with black people.
They don't.
So, and the owner.
That's an understatement.
And the owner of Vault, not the owner, but the CEO of Vault, who is, what's his name again?
Gus
Fringe. Also
Gus Fringe. He sells chicken in New Mexico, and he also sells crystal meth.
Based upon
Breaking Bad. Now his name is
Bad. He's in Breaking Bad. He's in the wheelchair.
Yeah, Stan. No, he was in the wheelchair. But his name is Stan Edgar, played by Giancarlo Esposito, some shit like that. He has a weird, not weird name.
Of Vault, and he's actually more vocal this time, this season around. But he's the one in charge of putting people in and out of the set.
Yeah, he's like the CEO of Vault.
So we all thought that the lady in the last one, the one that Homelander killed, had all the pull. But no, this guy, who is Gus Fringe, has all the power of pulling people in and out.
Stan Edgar.
and Gus goes ahead and he pulls out A-Train.
It sounds better to say Gus. Honestly, it sounds better to say Gus. So from here, this point on, we're going to say Gus Fringe.
To put in Stormfront.
Yeah.
And he does that based upon the cohesiveness of the unit, because now there are no black people, so Stormfront would fit well.
Yeah, but they're not actually 7 of them when we think about it, because it's like the deep. That's the Aquaman version in this show. He's pretty much exiled from the 7, like episode 2 or episode 3. Cause like last time you see him was like there's like a whale attack or whatever.
Wow.
And then like that whole whale scene.
And that was in season 2 as well.
Yeah, that was season 2. Like that's like the last time you see him do anything with the 7. And I don't know if he got kicked out because of that. I might have missed like a little part.
They were like, because the women were still don't want to work with him.
Yeah, because he was like like sexual, like pretty much Harvey Weinstein, but he looked like Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And Harvey Weinstein looked like Zac Efron.
Translucent used to do the same thing in season 1, where he would show up, naked in a female bathroom, but invisible.
Yeah.
But you just had to feel this person to know he was there, which is some real creeper type stuff.
These guys are flawed. These guys are flawed.
They were real creepers.
So,
but even so, like you find that out, then you find out that Gus Fringe has a whole nother lab somewhere off in the cut where they're keeping all the superhero
rejects,
basically, and they're over there. One of them has a great power, and she's over there, like crushing things and everything with her with her mind.
Yeah, you got one that has a fucking magic dick that grows.
I
forgot his name, man, but that shit. I was like,
when it touched Eminem, he was like, "What was that?
What the fuck are you gonna do like that? That's your superhero ability. What can you do?"
Oh man.
Like what like how you gonna save people? Like
you can't even promote that.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, I'm coming.
You can't make an action figure with that.
Can you imagine little kids going? Actually, edit that out. Don't imagine little kids playing with these type of toys, because the boys is for audiences 17 and up. So, but
in this world though. They try to market these superheroes because like you brought it up earlier, like these superheroes are like athletes.
Yeah.
Like they're all over like cereal boxes.
Yeah, cereal boxes.
There's a couple scenes I seen
where,
like Queen Maeve was on a Wheaties box, like an Olympic swimmer.
They were doing commercials.
They're doing commercials. They're on the Today Show or TV shows or late night show with Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, one of those guys. Like they're all over the place. You know what I mean? Like they're
And
actually celebrities.
You just can't market that
us,
kind of superhero ability of a growing.
Us as viewers, we know that they're pieces of shit.
Yes,
most of them. So like the only one that's left that we didn't really talk about for the 7 was Black Noir.
Oh yes,
Black Noir. That's my motherfucker. I love that. Like, that motherfucker's a beast, man.
Black Noir was.
He got a lot more play.
G.I. Joe's Snake Eyes.
He's equivalent to Snake Eyes mixed with Batman. Oh, I can't even say Batman no more because originally in the first season we saw him as more of a Batman character, but now he's definitely more Snake Eyes, and he's very fucking. Oh man, this guy's tough as shit. You saw when he went like that one episode where he went up against the terrorists, whatever, and like he took like bombs and he got blown up and everything, and he still was alive like that. You know, he's very like undestroyable. So he's not Batman at all when it comes to that. He's very like stealthy. Like
he's very stealthy because
he sneaks up.
Yeah, he was going after them while he was at his mom's house, I believe.
Yeah,
Butcher at his mom's house or girlfriend's house, and he could just try to wait it out. Yeah. They call the fire department and think, hey, we're gonna, make it worth a while. Yeah.
And they set all these Home Alone booby traps up. They try to get him. They know it's not gonna kill him. They hoping it's gonna give him enough time to get away. But still, they didn't even fucking. You see, half his face is gone. And I think he rejuvenates. I don't know the abilities of his powers. He probably rejuvenates over time. But yeah, that's a scene.
The only way that he was able to get away was the fact that Butcher was able to call Gus again to work out a deal, and we at that time had no idea that Gus had
that power.
That power that he could see everything that Black Noir was doing.
So I feel like Black Noir is probably the most loyalist person to boss
because they kind of did with what's the name of that? Weapon X and X-Men, where they bring Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the fucked up.
They take away his mouth, and they're like, "Okay, you're the perfect weapon now because you can't talk back, and all you can do is follow orders."
Yeah, so that's what he is. He definitely follows orders. Only thing that was kind of whack is like, dude, he's indestructible, but if you put a Snickers bar in front of him,
peanut allergy,
put an Almond Joy in front of him, the motherfucker's dead.
Like, it's like, yo, you can do everything.
But
nobody think of.
Well, Halloween is his worst enemy. That's basically what it is, man.
Whack.
Like, I love this character though, but that's what I was like. It's funny. It brought some humor to it though, man.
I mean, your name is Black Noir, and you got a peanut allergy.
Okay.
That is some George Washington. Some George Washington Carver type shit.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, some
invented the peanut.
Like, have you ever met anybody in real life, an adult that can't eat peanuts?
No.
Because I feel like that's like a kid allergy.
That might be, but
I hear about kids like,
that EpiPen is real. I mean, that making money off that EpiPen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in retrospect, I have not, but then again, I've never seen anybody with EpiPen on them. I don't know anybody. I know that they're out there.
Yeah.
But I haven't been, especially being in the military, somebody tell me, hey, I have a peanut allergy.
See, man, we sound like those COVID conspiracy theories, like, oh, COVID ain't real. I never see nobody die from COVID.
Actually,
I have. I mean, I'm not discrediting COVID. COVID is very, very
COVID
real.
Is real.
Stay safe out there.
Believe in that. Wear your mask. Do whatever you got to do to stay safe. But you believe in keep your family indoors and do whatever you got to do. Look, I'm behind you 1,000%. I'm not saying nothing about COVID being fake because it is real. I'm just saying I've never seen anybody with a peanut allergy. I know that it's very real. I know that, cupcakes are not allowed. You can't just buy cupcakes and bring them to the kindergarten anymore if you have a kid.
Yeah.
Because somebody might have a peanut allergy or, heaven forbid, maybe a gluten allergy.
It's like all this stuff changed, man, because like when we were kids, there was cupcakes. Like, we had parties. Like every time somebody had like a birthday
like
party.
Pizza was made out of cardboard when I was a kid. Yeah. We used to eat it.
I'm saying so I don't know. Like that's a whole nother discussion for something else. But but back to the boys.
Back to the boys.
There's one more character that was introduced. Her name is Victoria Newman. She's kind of like she's pretty much sounds like she's like a political figure. She's against the boys. And what it is in season 2, they try to come out with this compound V. They're trying to we talked about earlier, but they're trying to distribute it out. They want to have suits to be able to join the military.
Mm-hmm.
So she's against it.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't know why she's against it, but we find out later on like that she has some deep secrets that she's hiding.
Yes.
You think she's an ally?
So this is actually my surprise character for the season. I specifically circled Victoria Newman because she, like Stormfront, had an agenda. You just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, because Stormfront was so about Stormfront, about what she was doing, that she could kind of maneuver without us really knowing. Oh shit, it makes sense. Like she was at one of these events when some shit happened.
Yep. So, and the platform was just right for her to come up and to do what she did. I'm not going to expose what she does. There's no spoiler alert for me about what Victoria Newman comes and does. But I would say in short depth, the way that she maneuvers the chess playing field is brilliant. And the way the writers wrote her script to act it out, to bleed it out, and to have everybody in the dark all the way to the end of the episode, all the way to the end of the season, because the only people that know about it are the viewers, and nobody even knows about it on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, she like that was. I mean, like I give it to you that like that was probably one of the most surprised new characters because I kept seeing her and I kept thinking like, okay, I didn't think too much. But then when I got that big reveal at the very end, I'm like, oh shit! That's when I started putting the pieces together. I'm like, she was really there pretty much most of those events, and it shows. It explains it a lot more.
It explains because like she moved the chess pieces, she moved the pieces around. And people think that they're moving her around or telling her what to do, when really she's just agreeing or letting you win for the bigger picture in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think season 3 is gonna be a big reveal for her, a big season for her. But like, as far as the new characters, that's pretty much the new characters we have.
But I would say that there was one thing that season 2 also brought us. That was a deeper dive into the actual character of the boys. We found out that Eminem is OD. What's the right word?
OCD?
OCD, not ODC. But OCD, and that he gets it from his father. And that his father was fighting Vought. And not only was his father fighting Vought, but his OCD was a death of him while fighting Vought. Trying to write it out and also report to the media about everything that Vought was doing under the table. So we get a deep dive into him. We get a deep dive into Frenchie.
Yeah, Frenchie's a good guy. I liked him. I think I probably liked him the most from the boys this season. Like he came up, I got a kiss. Like I really like that guy. I like that guy. I don't know his name, the actor who plays him, but he does a good job playing Frenchie.
Yeah, we find out that he can't forgive himself, and that's why his relationship with Kimiko is so integral, because he has a past where he messed up, and that he's been trying to save everybody from that moment on. Everybody he is trying to save is because he messed up one time, and he can't keep saving people without, hurting people. And we move on to the next person. Like I said, it was Kimiko. We found out that, she had a brother who was a suit.
It was also a suit, yeah.
And we found out that they were in a camp together. And they were in a camp together, and he was a suit. He sees the world differently than she does. They don't agree. But she's trying to save him, see things, hey, let's turn this around. But things don't happen to work out. But we also see Kimiko and Stormfront face off.
Yeah.
And we see where Kimiko loses to Stormfront.
Yeah.
But Kimiko has this image after she watches her brother die.
Yeah.
And she can't get over it. And then her and Frenchie, they basically fall out for a few episodes where they can't connect.
Yeah.
And Frenchie is heartbroken over the fact that he cannot connect.
Yeah, he's obsessed with her, man, like from season 1. But like he's the one that brought her to the boys, that brought her to made her an ally with them. And then season 2 was like, like they kind of have like a little break. I want to say that's like the dry part of the season. I didn't really watch that. I mean, I watched all the episodes, but I kind of lost interest in like, I want to say 3, 4, and I picked back up in like 5, 6. That's when I picked it up like, oh, I'm paying attention again.
I was paying attention because that's when we found out, like I said, Eminem has that OCD because he goes on a long trip with Starlight and Huey.
Yeah.
We found out that Starlight and Huey, even though they try to break up, they kind of love each other. They're going to find their way back to each other. They're kind of they're in that group of Starlight and Huey. You kind of get that feeling that they're going to get married at some point, no matter whatever happens on the show. Yeah. And that's just where we are with those two.
I feel like one of them is going to get killed.
that would be great writing if one of them got killed.
Yeah, I feel like
that would be just great writing.
But I like Stormfront's I like her character arc because like she probably has she could easily be the main protagonist of this show too because she was a brand new character in season one. Everybody's a brand new character. She was a brand new member of the Seven, and you see everything, all the shit she has to go through. You see as much as Starlight than you see of Huey. Almost probably about the same. You see about the same, and you see how she slowly starts to to go lean towards the boys and want to be more of like one of them.
Yeah, Starlight actually becomes one of the boys in season. Not only fighting against A-Train, but actually just trying to exploit Vault because of after she finds out that she's not, given these powers by God. She's not been chosen. No, she's been scientifically genetic, and she's coming from a hospital where there are other soups at.
Yeah.
That just keeps leading on. But we also find out some things about Queen Maeve. And Queen Maeve was trying to, be a lesbian on the low, keep her private life private because she had a love of her life, but she left her love of her life to get with Homelander and be a part of the Seven because she thought it was the lifestyle that she wanted. Then Queen Maeve finds out that, hey, Homelander is a terrible person, and Queen Maeve was the last bit of, happiness that I had. Yeah, so she's trying to hold on to that.
Yeah, like keep this in mind, like Seven, if you're a superhero, you want to be in the Seven. Like that's the big leagues. That's when you're making money. You're making money if you're in the Seven.
That's the call up. That's the call up to MLB.
So she doesn't want to lose any of that. She wants Homelander to leave her the fuck alone, but she doesn't care about. But she wants to be in the Seven too. She wants to keep that notoriety. The only person who does not want to be in the Seven is Starlight. And like she eventually she stays in the Seven. There's like a part where she gets kicked out for a second. They say that she's a traitor, and like that brings up one of my favorite parts. Like even bring up the thing I liked about this season was that they showed you what happens to superheroes who no longer are in the Seven. They might have been in the Seven once, but then they get kicked out. And it shows a lot of that. Like you see the Deep, he's going through with some kind of Scientology, trying to rebuild his brand. He gets remarried. He finds a new religion, trying to make himself look good again. You got another character named Lamplighter. His name was mentioned in season one. He has a very Frenchie hates him. Like he has a very turmoil relationship with Frenchie. But when you see the character on the show, he's pretty much like it's just a guy. If you've seen the X-Men movie, remember him? Like I thought it was crazy, but that was meta as hell. When they had the Iceman from X-Men play Lamplighter in the boys. Yeah, and he was probably just the exact opposite of what his power is.
Exact opposite.
So, but when he comes in, it shows like they still got use for them. You just can't be in the Seven no more. Correct. You can't be marketable. So we're gonna use you to facilitate these back to the reject the superhero. He was in charge of them.
Yeah, look, we're gonna give you a job. We're gonna give you something to do. Yeah. But you're no longer in the Seven. Yeah. And so that's kind of like what happened to A-Train. Yeah. When they took him out, was like, we're gonna retire you.
Yeah, and you also find out more about what the boys are really about in season 2. Like because at one point Lamplighter was part of. He was pretty much blackmailed by the boys by Butcher to help them out against Vought. Like that. So, and then that same thing with A-Train. A-Train comes back and he helps them, but like they dig up dirt. The boys, they're very, very smart at digging up dirt. Because you think about these guys are they're not even superheroes. They're regular human beings. Superheroes, they could kill them at any point. Like there's no real threat to them physically. But when you play it smart, like how they're playing it smart, they're digging up dirt, getting allies, getting people to sabotage within the camp, getting them accesses to places that they want to be able to get into. So I like that part of season 2 a lot more than season 1 because season 1 you get hints of it, but you really know more about what Billy Butcher was about, what Frenchie was about, what A-Train, what they were about before the show started. Because season 1 he gathered them all back up. And then, he had a little small branch, 5 of them, try to put out the superheroes. But that was my biggest things that I liked from this season. And then what else was it? It was just you got more of it.
You got more in depth.
Yeah, which you expect that with
that's
the second
what
season.
I expected. That's kind of what I wanted. but it's also I kind of wanted to see some writing and the way every season finale is. I'm not sure if you well,
Yeah, I
I know
did. I
you watch
watched.
TV, but when there's a series finale or end of an episode, there's got to be a catcher to it. And the writers do a very good job of catching to the very end of every episode
Yeah,
with the catcher.
they're good. They're very good at that. Like a lot of episodes end with a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, good cliffhanger, catcher. And the way this one ended was no different as well. When you run up on Homelander's son, what's going on in the end, who ends up dying, why does that person die, and then the one thing that you see is Homelander's thought process. The cliffhanger, that's also a cliffhanger. It's his thought process.
Yeah.
Is it his son or his ego? Which one? Which one is he going after more? Which one does he care about more? And that's goes with every man. Like, what do you care most about in this world?
Yeah.
And then that's what you're gonna levitate to, And he finds that out coming to the end because the only thing that he really loves in this world more than himself is probably his son.
Yeah.
Or as much.
I would say that's his second love. I feel like he loves himself a lot more than he cares about his son. Because, like, honestly, if he cared about his son more, he would have killed Billy Butcher, took the son, and left. But he cared more about. I mean, because, like, he cared more about his image. Like when she showed that video.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, like I said, we're going. This is like we're fast forward to like the end of the season.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, like we'll back up a little bit. Like, we're still gonna talk about the end of the season, but we're not gonna talk about Homelander just yet. But so like the very last episode, well, everything that was building up to Stormfront and Homelander teaming up. Homelander ends up kidnapping. What do you say? It's kidnapped? Yeah.
Yeah, he kidnapped his son.
He kidnapped his son from Billy Butcher's wife, which makes her seek Billy Butcher to try to get him back. So Homelander, and this is under the plan that him and Stormfront are gonna pretty much raise the kid and try to make the world great again.
Yeah,
make America great again, huh? That's what it really feels like.
That really what it seems like is like, yo, you didn't know I was in movies. Well, Homelander's telling his son, you didn't know I was in movies. You didn't know I did this. You didn't know I did that. There was a whole world outside of whatever your mother had been raising you up in.
Yeah, because his son is raised in a bubble. Pretty much he hasn't been outside the world, so he doesn't know.
And so for a second, he tells his mom, you lied to me. Why did you lie to me? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And that's Homelander's entrance into his son's life to really take him away. Is like, he hates you, now he loves me. Now that he loves me, let me take him away because he loves me, and we'll raise him and we'll give him a thought process that we want him to have. That he can fly, that he can do this, he can do that. Before that take place, he would always listen to what Becca was saying when it came to raising him. Yeah. She would say, wouldn't you have loved to have a mother figure in your house? And he could never argue that fact. Yeah. And now with Stormfront here, he feels like she can be the one.
Yeah, she's the one that pretty much made him do what he did. Because like before then, he was perfectly okay with just popping up unannounced, spending time with his son, but he never thought to take him away. So like with Stormfront there, she planted that seed in his head like we could raise him. And then and
he was all about it. And as far as that seemed like a good idea to him until that one scene where, hey, let's go have a hamburger or do this. They go out to the restaurant and
while they're celebrity status,
and then he sees all these people come around while he's just trying to have a hamburger with his son. Like just like any other celebrity. If you sit down, if LeBron sits down, people's gonna want an autograph.
Yeah, take some pictures, get some autographs, and the kid
obliges. And the kid, he has superheroes. He's never heard so many people at the same time, and it just goes into him, and he's starting to shut down. And as soon as Homelander sees it, his father instincts takes over.
Yeah, see that, man? Like Homelander was a good guy, man. He was being a good father. He was being a good father. He never beat him. He never yelled at him.
He just like
he punched him off a roof.
He did punch him off a roof. So I guess that doesn't count as part of the year. But as far as the scenario is, like he takes him, and Stormfront sees that she gets left behind. Like he didn't even look for her when it came time. He just saw the son was distraught, grabbed his kid, flew away, and she's like, "Wait, he just left me like that?"
I didn't even peep that.
Yeah, so if you go back and you watch that episode, she is really kind of distraught that he just took off with her, with his son, and she is left. So when it comes down to it, if I shoot back to that final scene, Homelander never goes off on his son for watching what he did to Storm. He never took that out on him. He could have. Did you do this? He says yes, but he doesn't. He doesn't try to hit him. He just says, "Come over here." Like, did you do this? He's upset, but he didn't try to eliminate him.
I got you.
So
yeah, because honestly, how long do you think they really had their love interest, Stormfront and Homelander? Was because it happened in like episode 7, I want to say episode 6.
It might have happened like so it might have been 6, 7, but I mean that 5, 6, or 7.
But like 2 episodes,
it got raunchy real quick.
Yeah,
like,
they were having like 2 of this sex, man. Like they will crush a guy's head. in a fucking alley.
Exactly.
They'll be flying up in the sky, fucking each other. You know what I mean? Like they were having fun. It was like some high school love. You know, like some sweetheart shit.
It's actually what I call the infatuation phase.
Yeah, there was definitely infatuation.
There was an infatuation phase. You know how you start a new relationship and things are going very well, and infatuation phase, you can't keep your hands off of one another. As soon as you see somebody you want, as soon as you see that person of interest, you just want to get it on, rip their clothes off and get it on. That's the kind of phase they were in.
Yeah. So, but how much love would he have for somebody if he's in the infatuation phase? Would he really kill somebody over her? I mean, if it was anybody else, yeah, he would.
But his son, his
love for his son was way more than.
It might have been, but this is the first time that we've seen him infatuated with somebody.
Other than the lady from CEO from the very first season.
But he wasn't able to infatuate himself fully like this. Okay, every time I see you, you're right. You're literally my girlfriend. You're the reason why I want to see you. But also in this season, we see that when he doesn't get the right attention from her, she sees that, hey, this motherfucker get turned really quick. Like, yo, where the fuck were you?
Yeah, he's extremely jealous. Extremely jealous.
Yeah, like, what's up with these roses? I look like a douchebag. Give you these roses and waiting on you. You said you'd be here 15 minutes ago. Where'd you go? Exactly, right?
Yeah, man. Like he found out a lot in this season. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about. I think we went pretty deep on like different characters, like a lot more characters than we thought we were gonna go deep on about. But this one we're gonna go on like what was your favorite scenes? I'm gonna let you shoot this one off.
Ooh, my favorite scene.
It doesn't have to be one scene. It could be a couple.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put it the ending scene, the scene between Homelander and Butcher, that face-off scene. The last episode, there's a face-off scene. We're not sure if Butcher wants to kill the boy or Homelander wants to kill the boy. And somehow the boy lives. I'll leave it at that because that's the scene that both of them have animosity towards the child, Homelander's son. Okay. But both of them have a love for that son.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's a deep hate love between both of them. And he's caught in the middle.
And the thing about Billy Butcher with that scene that you're talking about, like he didn't love that kid at first. I don't know if I brought this up earlier, but like he didn't love the kid at first. Homelander loved the kid. That's his kid, obviously.
Yeah.
But Billy Butcher, he loved his wife, and he saw how his wife loved that son. He loved his son so much that when he saw that she was dead, he did not. He pretty much said that he's not gonna let anything happen to this kid. That he wanted to save this kid.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that one. That was mine. That's one of the scenes I like.
Yeah.
Yours is next. I
do want to add one more thing. Like his son, like Vought saw this too as a big thing for Homelander. That's the only way you keep him in check.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you have his son, something that he cares about, that he loves about, and like have his son say, "Hey, we gotta keep him safe, but you need to do what the fuck you need to do. You need to stop all this bullshit you're doing." And so that and also his ego. So those are the two things that would keep Homelander in check. This is kryptonite. As far as my favorite scene, I ain't gonna lie, man. I have to say it's in the last episode too. It's that woman, Stormfront beat down, man. Like, she had that shit coming. Coming.
When they triple teamed her?
Well, it was a double team at first.
That
shit was crazy as fuck. Because the reason why it is because like, a lot of shows try to do this. Movies, especially Avengers. We talk about Avengers like a long time. When we talk about Avengers Endgame, we had like that scene where all the women superheroes came up. It's very ungenetic. It felt very forced. And then they feel like it was deserved. It's like, oh, we put all the, put Captain Marvel with fucking I can't remember. Damn, I can't remember the names. Like I can't remember the names of the Avengers right now. Like, but you know that scene. That scene where he had all the females in it. So now it's like this movie actually made sense like that because Stormfront shows up and the Starlight, she's already with them already. Chemical, like they both are soups and they can handle their own. So like first it starts off with like, I'm gonna fuck this bitch up because Chemical, she had beef with her because she killed her brother. Starlight, she never liked the bitch.
No, not one.
We don't know what really what made Starlight not like her. What was it?
Well, Starlight and Stormfront, I'm not sure if you remember this, when Starlight was trying to outvault earlier on in the season. And she got the information from the guy who was letting people chop off his arm for money. Because he regenerates. So he would chop off her arm for money. She got some information from him about Vault, about Compound V. So when they found out about the Compound V, Starlight was the one that linked it. Stormfront confronted Starlight, said, I know you're the one who linked it, but
okay, so
you also have I have a plan for you later on.
Yeah. So that's the beef. Okay. So Chemical, Starlight, Stormfront, they're fighting.
Yeah.
And then like they're giving her the hands, but at the end of it, Stormfront ends up like pretty much getting over on them like that, kind of being, that she can handle her own. And then she ends up like snapping Chemical's neck. She doesn't know if she can rejuvenate. Like she can rejuvenate. Like
I didn't know that either.
Not rejuvenate, but she can't. Like she can come back to life. Like
she got
killed. She doesn't rejuvenate. Because remember, like with Black Noir, he sliced her chest in the first season, and it healed back. She's like Wolverine, but she can't die. So then you see that, but then like when you think that Stormfront's about to win, Queen Maeve comes in out of nowhere and like just decks her ass, and then now like they're stomping her ass out like fucking. Like beating her ass up like Debo in Friday. You know what I mean? Like it's really fucking her up, and I like it too because it's
like all three of them. It's like all three of them. It's like something you see in the Hood movie. Yeah, they were giving her the footwork.
Yeah,
what my footwork? My footwork. They were whamming on her.
Get Timberland up.
And then she just ended up flying away. I was like, oh, look, bitch.
But she did. But she did good. Like that to me, that was my favorite scene because I felt like it was deserved. And I like seeing somebody like that get their just desserts in the very end. Like that was so. Like that's one of my favorite scenes. There's a lot of favorite scenes, but that's the one I'm gonna talk about. Yeah. So
okay.
What about the show, the season in general?
The season in general.
We talked about it already a little bit, but like the overview. Did you like it?
I like what the writers are going because I'm a fan of writers. I'm a fan of good writing. And the whole show itself has what if celebrities are dickheads, which we know to be true in our generation today.
Yeah.
Is that not everybody's a good person, but who's to say who is a good person? Maybe the media spin on it is more powerful than what we know as everyday Joes going to work. Say, hey, let's turn on the TV. Whatever the TV says has to be true because it's on TV. And that's what their superheroes are. And so there are athletes, there are sports stars. LeBron does a dunk. LeBron's never done anything wrong. But say we had like an athlete who is a greatest athlete, but in the off time, kind of like you know what? Belay that. Get everything I just said. Big Ben Roethlisberger. I'll talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah.
He had a rape case in Georgia. Matter of fact, he had two, right?
I know he had one. I don't know about the second one.
One and the second one. But if you're a great football player, people sometimes can look over it and give you a,
as long as you stay clean.
As long as you stay kind of clean. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not saying that Big Ben hasn't learned from whatever he's done.
Publicist. Can have a good publicist.
And try to grow from his situation or whatever happened. But, him, and then you take R. Kelly. Yeah. And I would say R. Kelly because we have people to this day who still would fight for R. Kelly. Yeah. Like, all these females can't be wrong. They can't be collectively lying. Harvey Weinstein,
Bill Cosby.
That is that era. And that's what Vault does. That's what the writer does. It's like, it's not just that. What if they were all like that? They all had something.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I agree with you on that. Like, that's honestly what I took away from. I took away from that from the very first season. I think for me, for the second season, I just like I said, like I think I've already talked about. Like I just like how they got more in depth with what happens to these superheroes, like from a corporate perspective. Like I really get to understand this show a lot more, like what fault is, how it's evil, and like what they're doing to make their superheroes look good. And I got a little bit more with the boys too because I got to see like, okay, so they're not just trying to kill superheroes; they're trying to find things that they could do to bring down Vault at any means necessary, whether it's killing them or not. But they want to bring down Vault.
They are fighting the man, essentially. Hey. Like I said earlier, they are fighting the man. They're the little guys fighting the man, doing whatever they can. But sometimes, as media and people in the media have publicists to try to spin it in a good light. Yes, okay, Compound B is out there, but let's spin it. Don't we need more superheroes anyway? Because now somebody else has their hands on it. And a gunshot to the head isn't going to save you if you shoot the suit in the head. You know? What do you need to fight a suit? Another suit. So we need more Compound B. So it went from them hating the superheroes to them just loving it because they needed more of them. And that turn, that's a publicist doing their job. It's the same thing about athlete. He gets in trouble or he goes down. He's selling drugs. He's caught with a DUI. Hey, how does this publicist spin it? What does the publicist do? Well, let's go ahead and find a program we can give money to, we can donate to. You can go over there 3 times out of the year and show your face and that show like, hey, I messed up on this. I know it's a problem. And now we're looking to rectify this problem.
Start trying to be a philanthropist.
Yes.
Start trying to give donations in different places. Like do more face. Oh yeah, like I'm here at St. Jude's. You know, I can't be a bad guy. I'm donating money to St. Jude.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like the rectifying of a problem when you have a great publicist.
Yeah, man. Like the boys, if you guys have not watched any episodes or started watching it, I advise you guys to watch it, especially at this time where by now all the episodes are available on Amazon Prime. So I don't know who doesn't have Amazon Prime.
I feel like everybody got Amazon.
So it's pretty much free. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can watch Amazon.
Yo, watch it. So go ahead and tag me and let me know what you think. My name is William Hodor on Facebook, WILLIAMHODOR. And on Instagram, I'm William15780. Once again, William15780, aka the Will Hodor. You know what I'm saying?
And I am Mr. Nino Barksdale. You can catch me on Instagram at Nino Barksdale18. Or you can catch me on Facebook, just Darrell Bowman. Just say Darrell Bowman.
Oh, yo.
D-U-R-E-L.
And Darrell Bowman is actually in a movie. He got a movie coming out. It's called Drama with Big Mike. Drama.
I'm doing a little bit, man. I got a little scene, you know.
Big Mike coming out with another movie. Drama. We dropping Drama. I'm gonna let y'all know we're gonna be promoting Trauma.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah,
we're
get it
promoting
right.
Trauma out there in these streets of Instagram, streets of Facebook, streets of social media. You heard me? Trauma coming to a TV screen in your house near you.
Yeah, man, like that. I wish he was here to talk about it. We'll get Mike on here to talk a little bit about his experience, my experience, you know, like my little experience I had.
And we're going to be dropping more movies for y'all. Going to do some more work, all right? You're going to get up out here talking out your neck. Going to be live in front of your face.
All right, man. And with that, yes, that's a good moment. We out, baby.
Talking out your neck, what?
Talking out your
motherfucking neck. I'm a cuss.
All right.
Talking out your neck.
Peace.